I want to speak directly to restaurant owners and anyone running a food-based business for just a minute, so please usher into the front because I want to talk about this. Over the past few weeks, we've been seeing headlines about the parasite outbreak, and since then, we've continued to see food recalls involving vegetables, fruit, bacon, eggs, cheese, and everything under the sun, back to back. So as I've been checking in with a few of my clients in the restaurant space, it led to a bigger conversation about the impact of something like this could have on their business. And one question I've been encouraging them to think about, and I want you all to think about, is if one of your suppliers was impacted tomorrow, how prepared would your business actually be? Because a food recall doesn't have to start in your business to become your problem. One issue within your supply chain could mean throwing away inventory, changing your menu, losing revenue, and protecting a reputation that you spent years building. So no, this isn't just a food safety issue. From a business standpoint, this is also risk management and business continuity. And not to get too political, but if we can recall, last year the Trump administration made significant workforce cuts across federal health agencies, including the FDA and CDC. And since then, we've seen declines in foreign food inspections, disruptions to food safety testing programs, and changes to how certain foodborne illnesses are monitored. Now, let me be clear for the ones in the back. Food recalls didn't just start under the Trump administration. We've seen them under every administration, and I'm not saying that these cuts cause these outbreaks, but let's not act like reducing capacity doesn't have consequences either. See, when you reduce resources within systems responsible for inspecting our food, monitoring illnesses, and investigating outbreaks, you're reducing some of the safeguards we rely on as well. And this is what I mean when I say this is what happens when you're operating on concepts and not a plan. Because cutting jobs is one thing, but what was the plan to make sure those critical functions were still being performed after those jobs were gone? And I'm saying this as a consultant because I would ask any business owner making significant workforce reductions the exact same question. So if you're in a food business, control what you can control. Know your suppliers. Know how quickly you'll be notified about a recall, whether you can trace where your products are coming from, and have a backup plan if a major ingredient suddenly becomes unavailable. And make sure your staff knows what to do when something like this were to happen. Because remember, a crisis doesn't have to be your fault to become your responsibility. You can't control every problem that enters the food supply, but you can control how prepared your business is when it does.